Hello, Mom.
Hello.
It is frickin' cold. And the first layer of insulation's almost up.
Yay.
And then we can run that stuff in between the rafters. Hopefully we got enough of the R21. We didn't do the math on that.
No, I just gave you what I had.
Yeah. I might have to buy more.
I don't know. This is...
We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, we got some strips to cut and an area over there, but otherwise it's going in pretty nice. Plenty of room for the ventilation. So,
Yay.
almost done. Alrighty. Garage is insulated. Thanks to Mom. Most of this installation was donated as leftovers from her house remodel. I had to buy $190 worth of insulation to do this roof, to do this ceiling. And there's unfaced R49 on top of the rafters that we had to put in thirds in this section, and then we put it in halves in the middle because the vents are so low, the gable vents. And then this is all R21 faced on this side, running across in between the rafters. And see over here, this is all R20, and then we ran out, so I went and bought some R19, and then we really ran out, and we filled it with scrap pieces from other projects, and also these rafters. That's 16 on center, and that's like 24 on center, but it's not, it's like, wouldn't work because it's only 24 there, and then it's like 19 down there, because whoever built this garage was cross-eyed. So we had to run some straps to hold up some of the insulation. We had to run some stuff down the sides like that. But it worked out, and then we ran out of paper, so we have Christmas wrapping paper as the vapor barrier, but that's the heavy duty old school wrapping paper. But all in all, it went well, and we were running 2 little space heaters out here while we were doing it, and as we were putting the insulation, it was getting warmer and warmer. So it was doing pretty nice. And then when we were putting up these between the rafters, I stuck my hand up above the rafters into the attic space, and it was significantly colder. It was rigid up in the attic versus compared to down here. So I got to sheet the roof with something. We're going to start off with this corner and hang the furnace, and then I'm going to run the natural gas as far as I can. And then when we start running through the breezeway into the garage, I will hire a plumber to run that correctly and up to code, and then it'll pop out, run across, and then run to the furnace. At least that's my hope. I don't know if that's legal when the plumber comes out. But yeah, this took, let's see, we did 13 hours over the weekend, and then I started at 6 o'clock tonight, took a 20-minute dinner break, and we wrapped up. It's probably 9:30 right now, I bet. 10 o'clock right now. We wrapped up probably 15 minutes ago. So about 15, 16 hours with all the stupid, weird spaced rafters and all that. All these over here were 16 on center. All these over here were pretty much 16 on center. There were a couple where we had to put some spacing in. These were pretty good over here too. But all these got goofy and weird. But it's done. Just all that matters. So, yeah, that's it. Next step is sheeting and plumbing in the natural gas. And then I'll have heat to do body work out here. All right, so we got some work done today. This is about 4 hours of work. Not working particularly fast, taking lots of breaks, doing other things in between, but within a 4-hour time period. I got a quarter of the garage roof up. This is what I bought. It's painted at about 1/6 the distance. But the rest is galvanized, and then this lip is painted, but the lip is being covered. So no big deal. But I got this from a guy used. All he sells, he's got his farm, and then he sells a bunch of this used roofing and siding. Holes in it. These were cheap. I bought 22 sheets. They're 13 feet long, and it was like $370. And that's including tax, because he has to include tax on it, small business. So really not that bad. I honestly was pretty happy with that price. It cost as much as it would have been to put 1/4-inch drywall on the roof, on the whole roof. And I don't have to mud it, and I don't have to paint it. It's pretty cold out, so we're not cleaning it. But it is a rustic look. I really like the rustic look. I've got that outlet was the first one I cut. And it's okay. And then I got this one over here. That one was cut better if you look at it straight on. That's cut pretty good. But if you look at this one, not so good. So that one might get a trim piece at some point. But we're going for, I want a rustic look in this garage, because rustic not only is the look I want, but also rustic can be done very affordably. So it works out that that's what I want. New steel roofing like this, steel siding like this would be kind of expensive. I'm probably going to buy more from him when I do the walls, because the walls I'm going to do pallet wood, vertical pallet wood on the walls. And then from about here down, I'm going to do more stuff like that. I was going to do the wavy corrugated old school stuff, but that stuff is really expensive. And this way, it'll match here and here. And that way the edge is protected from fluids. And if you bang into it, oh, big deal. You didn't put a hole in the wall, stuff like that. So the goal is to eventually get the pallet wood all the way around, and then the steel siding along the bottom. And then around the edge, I'm not sure what I'm going to do around the edge. I know what I should have done is, gotten trim and put it on, but I don't know what I'll do. I might just take my time and carefully cut out individual pallet boards to fit around all that, and just notch it in and put it in and screw it on. And that might work. But this isn't perfect. There's holes already, and for some reason they screwed on the ribs, which was really, I'm not sure why you would do that, but they did. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's the look I want. It's a nice workshop look. And you can see how crooked the rafters are. I mean, there's the end of that rafter, and then it just disappears, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and it spits out right there. It's just ridiculous. The back half of the roof is definitely the easiest half to do, because you don't really have to cut around things. This was one of those lights with a porcelain light socket, but it's getting replaced with an outlet, so I can hang LEDs like that. And then I added, it's not wired in yet. I forgot to do it, so I just did it really quick today. Here's the wiring, but this is the wiring for the furnace. I'm not sure if I'm going to put an outlet in there, or if I'm going to run a little piece of conduit across and hardwire the furnace in. I'll probably hardwire it in. I might just put the furnace right there too. But my goal is to have the furnace in the corner and have it blowing sort of this way out into the center of the room, not sort of along the wall, but like the furnace faces this direction and blows to the middle of the garage. And that's another reason why I started in this corner, so that if I don't get all the roofing up right away, I can at least get the furnace up right now. and I can get it hooked up and get it warm out here, and then I can finish the rest of the ceiling. But yeah, I think this stuff was $16 a sheet. So it's not like I stole it off the guy. So I mean, it's not an amazing, incredible deal, but it is a lot cheaper than new stuff was, for sure. I mean, some of this new stuff is, getting up to be 50 a sheet. Granted, they're longer than 13 feet, but man, I was looking at some of the 8-footers. So 5 feet shorter than this. And it was like $30 or $34 or $36 a sheet. Something like that. Granted, you can pick your color and it's brand new, but I don't really need new. And I wanted galvanized. I didn't want paint on any of it. So, I mean, this paint I'm just going to have to live with. We're just sticking all the white at the ends. So there'll be white there, and then we'll flip these pieces, and the white will be over there on the far side. And then the lights and the furnace. And I think the garage is going to look really nice after that. We'll insulate the garage doors. They're ice cold right now. So I got to get the insulation kits for the garage doors as well. But I think it's going to really, really make it look nice. I mean, even if you're just standing right here, I think that looks really nice. That's what I was sort of going for. And it's not like a finished garage. I know I was thinking about, if I sell the house, in 10 years, most people are probably going to want it drywalled up, drywalled, looking nice. And in 10 years, if that's something I want to do, like it's going to add a lot of value to the house, then I'll do that. But I think since this is sort of becoming, it's like a garage slash workshop, I think it's best like this. Something a little more durable than drywall. I'd say if this garage was about 5 feet shorter, 5 feet shallower, and a little bit narrower. I think if it was like 20 by 20, I wouldn't be doing this. It'd be pretty much just a parking spot. But because it's 26 by 26, you can park a full-size truck in here. Yeah, not a crew cab. Not a crew cab long box, but you could even fit an extended cab long box in here and still have room to work on it. So it's a nice size for working on things, or just for parking if you have 2 crew cab long box trucks. Then you'd be pretty much taking up all the space. I also bought this light from Hobby Lobby for like $14. It came with really crappy 12-volt LEDs. They didn't really look good, and I didn't really like it. Yeah, it was $14, so it was okay for that price. But I got some new sockets, drilled the holes a little bigger for the new sockets, and I put some real bulbs in there and wired it up for 120 volts. The switch that came with it was actually rated for 20 amps or 15 amps at 125 volts. So I could use the original switch, but those are the new lights. And I think they really, really help that sign out. It looks really nice. Adds a little something to the garage. It really does. If all this lumber was really weathered, that'd be really cool too. I mean, it's not, so I'm not too worried about it. But it definitely is definitely is coming along. The roofing looks really nice. I am actually very happy with how it's turning out. And not only that, but the metal roofing is also going to reflect a lot of heat. So it'll help radiate a lot of heat. And then once this does get up to temperature, it's going to retain heat a little better because of the metal. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure until it's actually done, but I think it's going to retain heat quite a bit better than a drywall garage would. And yeah, overall, very happy with it. I will be more happy once the furnace is up, but I got to figure out how I'm going to do that yet. If I can mount it at an angle fairly easily, that would be nice. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We will definitely figure it out. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to get to work. I got to hang some lights and I got to figure out where the furnace is going to go. So yeah, back to work.